You're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa. Time to balance the scales of pro-life and pro-choice. I want to talk about abortion in Nigeria. So this Tuesday, news broke that the Marie Stopes International Clinic was raided by Nigerian authorities. The press release reads, "This morning," and I'm quoting, "This morning, a combined team of police detectives shut down the Marie Stopes Abortion Clinic in Lagos. Marie Stopes is a notorious abortion international NGO based in the UK and heavily funded from the UK. On arrival at the abortion clinic, the police caught Dr. Bernard on the verge of performing abortion on one young lady. The police conducted thorough searches at the clinic and discovered many abortion files, suction tubes, sterilization instruments, etc. Abortion is murder. Abortion is illegal in Nigeria. Yet Marie Stopes is coming to Nigeria to break the law." That's the quote, right? Now, so let me tell you, what's missing in this missive that they sent out? Number one, majority of abortions are as a result of rape. Number two, service providers such as Marie Stopes are primary healthcare providers who support women with other services such as counseling, family planning, and sexual health education. Number three, they also provide maternal care by supporting women to plan, space, and deliver their pregnancies safely through access to prenatal and obstetrician care, including trained birth attendants. Yes, they offer post-abortion care to save lives as allowed under the law. But as I've just read out, that is not all they do. The stigma and illegality of abortion in Nigeria hasn't stopped the need for such a service. Banning abortion does not stop it happening. It only stops it from happening safely. And hospitals are mandated to save lives where and if possible. In a country such as ours, where rape has reached an epidemic level, criminalizing unwanted pregnancy is tantamount to awarding a badge of honor to the rapist while sentencing the victim to a life of misery and trauma. According to research by the Guttmacher Institute, an estimated 456,000 unsafe abortions are done in Nigeria. In fact, more recent research actually puts it at over 750,000. While a joint study by the Society of Gynecologists and Obstetricians of Nigeria, including Nigeria's Ministry of Health, estimates that 20,000 women engage in unsafe abortions each year. On the other side of town, conservative and pro-life groups would argue that abortion is murder. It's also the same conservative groups that would champion the death penalty for rapists. So, if the solution is to kill all rapists, then why make it a crime if a woman chooses not to co-parent with a rapist? The truth is, everyone knows someone who has had an abortion, had one themselves, or have paid for one. So how about we remove the medieval blinkers, take off the coward's cloak, sit upright, and let's have an informed discussion about the right of a woman to choose what happens to her. When all is said and done, what really matters is the woman's choice.
Completely, on this note, I completely agree with you.
Thank you.
I have had cause to discuss with medical doctors on this long before now. And I met one medical doctor who said he was trained, funny enough, by Reverend Sisters in Jos. And that what they noticed, even though the Catholic Church preached against abortion, and that what they noticed was that a lot of young girls were engaging in illegal abortion, and that was leading to death. And so the only way you could save them is, train doctors in the act of doing it.
Correct.
So they can know how to do it properly.
Right.
And then also, I also spoke with another medical doctor, one of the big hospitals in Lagos, I don't want to mention. And then he said, if I know the number of women married,
yes, exactly,
including big pastors' wives, that come to procure abortion,
yes,
I will be frightened.
Yes.
He does not know why the government is hiding under this cloak of.
Yeah. Well, let me suggest why I think there is that. Because my understanding of the law is that you're trying to preserve a certain society for yourself. Because a lot of times the argument is, the argument is made that if people are already doing it, so why not just make it legal? But there's some things you're trying to preserve. So I can understand that psychology very clearly. So, for example, you don't want people having abortions because maybe they've had, casual intercourse and then they've fallen pregnant, because the child's life is still valuable. So you're trying to weigh two things. You don't want people to make it casual. Even I'm coming. Let me finish. I know you've had a chance to say
your point.
So you're trying to weigh up two evils. Yeah. I mean, because for me, the child's life is still valuable. Even in countries where they make it legal, they still have to measure and say, when is the child viable outside your body? So you can't actually abort this child.
This child, medically speaking.
But I'm still trying to say that there has to be recognized that it's not just, unintended pregnancy, abort. There is a life you're killing. I know people use words like that. There is a life you're killing. I'm not Ireti. I know you keep going to that. So my point is...
I'm talking to Ireti.
He was going to ask me a question.
So that's my beef with it, is that I really feel we need to acknowledge that what people are having to weigh up is
I'm not going to come into
the conscience of one person doing something that is really against their conscience, as opposed to
let me respond.
Society is preserving certain values by saying we know people are doing it, but nonetheless we're making it illegal so that you don't do it with a clear conscience.
Why shouldn't you be able to make a choice with a clear conscience? It does affect me. It's my body. I'm the one that's pregnant. No. I'm the one that's pregnant. Whether I do your behavior carelessly.
That's why they're laws. That's why they're laws.
No, society doesn't decide for you to have many kids. Society leaves you to have as many kids as you want. Society should leave me. No, society should leave me to choose whether I want to abort the child.
Can somebody else take
No man is an island.
The thing is, the way I see it is that it's really all about pro-life or pro-choice.
Yes.
Of course, I'm 100% pro-choice. You are never going to be able to convince me that a fetus is life. You will never.
On what basis?
On any basis. I will never agree that it is life because it is still within the woman's body.
Thank you.
There has to be a difference between a child coming out into the world and being in a woman's womb. To me, there's a big difference. One is something in the making.
People would agree with you.
It's in the making. I don't care what scientists want to say that, at 6 months it has become real. If it's real, I bring it out. Let's all start. Why do we wait for pregnancies to end naturally? Let's start bringing things out when it's time.
Well, that's why sometimes when the baby does come out prematurely, they survive.
No, I know.
But anyway, let me explain my own stance on this matter. I am pro-life. But at the same time, yes, I am. I am pro-life, and at the same time, I'm still pro-choice because there's situations that require, being allowed, to
the well-being of the mother.
Yes, exactly. So, but I am pro-life because I believe that baby, whether it's inside you or outside you, it is life.
Let's find a balance here. You find out that there are cases where even amongst we're talking about population explosion. Right. We're talking about, poverty. There are some cases, suicide, unlike those days where the number of children in Africa determines your worthiness. But these days, in some cases, some of these children, we're talking about suicide now, some of these children in some cases which they never were born at all. So you have the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. You can't take care of these children. The man who has enough to take care has only 4 or 5. Yeah. And you that knows that you can't take care, you have 6, you have 10. In a situation where such a woman realizes that, look, I'm pregnant again.
Yeah. They should be able to have that option.
To kill the child.
It is not murder.
It is murder. At the end of the day, in some cases, even at childbirth or in less than a year, you're unable to feed that child and he dies. Which one is better? You have that child and dump the child inside a gutter?
No, but you see, let me come in here because I think you guys are assuming that because the parent cannot take care of the child, somebody else won't want to take care of this child. No, seriously. It's what liberals just said. If it is in those cases where we're talking about the life of the mother, of course. But this one of
also let's look at the balance.
Having babies, but I can't take care of them. Let's abort them. We need to talk about that one.
Let's not deceive ourselves. Nigeria, as we speak, is not even pro-life.
Thank you.
When even the life of those of us existed.
So how about
again, it's like your pledge. If you hold up something and you identify that it's valuable enough, you have to strive to attain to it. You don't dismiss it altogether.
No, that's what we're saying. Well,
oh, that was going to be fiery, and it certainly was.
Straight away.
Some might say we've only just scratched the surface on this one. I personally believe we will get that law change. However, it's time to hear from you. On the matter of juveniles in prison, Nwambuze Finian Ali says, wonderful, this is a national issue, a human rights concern. There should be a policy to prevent its further occurrence. On whether women are being pressured to become mothers, Victor Okobi has this to say. Don't know really. Pressured by who? Peers, parents, the public, society? In reality, it's traditional and the pressure is both ways. Yes, guys also get pressured. Expectations that at some point being responsible means getting married, having kids and settling down. Maybe the real question is if women put themselves under that pressure and why they do so. Good question, thank you. On the legalizing of marijuana in Nigeria, Tony Emeribe says, not a good idea. Marijuana is highly addictive drug. It doesn't have any medicinal purposes, should not be abused by people with mental illness or those at the borderline.
Exactly.
Has a couple of benefits though, controls nausea and induces appetite. The societal issues it creates are numerous. I don't think we should add more to the mountain of problems that is confronting our nation. Do drop us your comments on our social media platforms. We always want to hear from you. On Facebook, we are +TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. Or on Twitter and Instagram, we are at +TV Africa, #TheAdvocateNG. We'll always make time to read out your comments and make sure it's a good one. To watch previous episodes or broadcasts, go to www.plustvafrica.com/theadvocate. Time to go on a quick break, and when we return, Liboris will be calling out court order offenders who go by the name of, you guessed it, government again.
Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
to be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was very terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.